Oh shit, here we go again.
Alright, look, 3 years have passed since I trained my aim in Valorant, and I think it's about time I train my aim inside CSGO. This time, I'm not using Kovacs or AimLab, I'm only using Yprac. Here's the breakdown. I'm going to be doing all these Yprac modes and running through each of them 3 times a day for a week straight. I'll take my average score from every day so we can see my progression at the end of the week. And this also means that I'm stopping all other aim training that I do so we can ensure that my progress is a result of this routine. I will go about my day warming up and playing like usual, then training at night before I go to bed, as there are many studies that show REM sleep consolidates procedural learning and commits skills to muscle memory. Look, I don't make the rules, doctor's orders. Also, I'll be playing the fast aim reflex training map for 1 minute on day 1 and on day 7. I'll see how many kills I get so we can have an extra way to measure my improvement outside of just the Yprac routine. On top of this, I'll be using the pro time trial on the CSGO Hub skill trainer on day 1 and day 7 to get an extra idea of what my progression has been like. I'll also be updating you guys with how the aim training has been impacting my in-game aim. Alright, let's break down the maps. Speed Headshot Insane, a good map for precision aiming, helps instill extra confidence when going for those pistol headshots. As it is for all these maps, I'm going for the highest kills per minute, so it puts emphasis on flicking quickly but maintaining high accuracy. Precision 5-shot moving normal. Good for aiming at heads with extra focus on verticality for maps like Vertigo. Tracking line switch raw aim hard. This map is more of a warm up for the next couple of maps, but helps with your tracking aim. This is a skill less important in CS, but still helpful for incorporating into spray control and shit like that. Burst Speed Burst Insane. This map is helpful for practicing spray control, more specifically aiming for the body. And its big brother, Burst Strafe Burst Hard, on the other hand, is helpful for practicing spray control while aiming for the head. With all that being said, let's get to our benchmarks. On day 1, I got 42 kills in fast aim reflex training and 25 kills inside the CSGO stats time trial. If I could go back in time when I started this video, I would have done multiple samples of this benchmark and averaged it out to give a more precise idea of where I was at mechanically at this time. But overall, I think it gives you a pretty decent idea of where I was at. And I can already see some of the comments.
Actually, these aren't the most optimized maps for training. If you really wanted to train your aim, why only do these 3 times?
Listen here, buddy. First things first, it's my channel, pal, okay? I run this place. Second, I'm a firm believer that the best way to improve is actually playing the game. Utilizing some aim training and focused practice like this can be a good addition on top of that, but you're never going to become a better Counter-Strike player if you're only ever doing these aim training routines. Your aim might be nuts, but you as a rounded Counter-Strike player will not be global or face at level 10 solely off of this. I also didn't want this routine to take over 25 minutes because the best routine is a maintainable routine. I also hope that this is a routine that some of you guys will be using. And not everybody has an hour in their day to train their aim, especially because I know you want to be using some of your free time to actually be playing the game on top of aim training. With all that out of the way, this is day 1, hour 0. Day 1 and 2 went pretty smoothly. Everything was going according to plan. But on day 3 and 4, I noticed some shortcomings of the routine. The practicing before bed aspect was more challenging than I expected. I didn't want to do the routine during the day because of the guidelines I set for myself. But I had a friend come down from Philly, I was hanging out with him and some of my other friends, and I ended up sleeping at my apartment where I don't have my computer right now. I then did the same thing on day 4 without even thinking about it. So what I recommend for you is to get some practice in during the day when you have time after you're done playing. And if you have extra time before you go to bed, you can put in some extra time grinding then. I could definitely notice a difference when I practiced right before going to bed, and I do think that this helped with my retention of the routine. But overall, there's an increased cost to practicing before bed. I wasn't able to watch shows with my girlfriend right before heading to sleep, and I was kind of locked down to sleeping at the house if I wanted to complete this routine. And like I said earlier, the best routine is one that you can stick to consistently. So I think setting these strict guidelines, while it had a good intention, and I still think there's some validity to that, in the future, if I was to do something like this again, I would allow some more malleability to this routine. But even though I missed day 3 and 4, I was committed to getting data for 7 days total. So that's what I continued on doing. And eventually, that 7th day came, and these were the results for the Yprac maps, and they were about what I was expecting. Something that I noticed was the general spike in day 4 of the scores, and this was because I was playing a lot of CS that day prior to doing the aim training. This was a week that I didn't really have a whole lot of time to play CS, but even though I didn't have time to play on day 7 and 6, I still did even better than I did on day 4. But this is all to be expected. So even if I did better in all of these, what matters is that the other benchmarks increased along with it, and I feel like it's benefited my in-game aim in some way. My 1 minute of reflex aim training increased by 4 kills, going from 42 to 46, which was an improvement, but nothing super crazy to write home about. Something I noticed about this map was how there was a bit of randomness to where the bots would spawn and how long it would take them sometimes to come out of cover, so it didn't really feel as if this was super indicative of my improvement. But this made me more excited for the CSGO Hub time trial. Here, I went from 24 of the 45 kills to 37, which was a massive improvement and really nice to see. On top of this, I could just tell that my aim was feeling way more crisp than it was prior to aim training, and I was connecting on some shots that I definitely wouldn't have connected on before. So what's the conclusion? I'll definitely be utilizing some of these maps moving forward, but feeling restricted to a daily routine was not as sustainable as I would have liked it to be. If you can train before bed, great, but if not, don't sweat it. And remember, focused practice alone is not the most optimized version of training. Playing the game will always help you be a more rounded and overall better player, but I think it's worth giving a shot. It's also just a nice way to spice up some of your training, or even warm up if you want to include it into that. If I were to do this again, I would include a small warm up before going into these maps, because I noticed my aim started to get better into the later maps. So if I were you, I would give the routine a shot and let me know how it works for you, and if you saw some of the same improvements that I did. And I put a lot of work into this video, so I hope it's something that you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see more content like this moving forward. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.